Me, 19 male, recently got into my 6th to 7th relationship with an 18 female. I was her first boyfriend, this was her first relationship. We were really both into each other, we connected very well, everything was going amazing. We had kissed multiple times, things hadn't gone sexual just yet. We had kissed while dancing, while walking, while doing anything. Things were going like a dream. 3 weeks into our relationship, and at this one party night, we danced and kissed, had fun. Next day, she calls me and asks me to meet her, she brings her friend with her like she's her bodyguard or some crap. They both tell me that I need to slow down and that I need to ask for consent before kissing her on lips, as it makes her uncomfortable and anxious because she's inexperienced. Kissing anywhere else is okay, hugging is okay, but I need to ask before I kiss on the lips. I'd like to clarify here that I never once forced her to kiss. It was all we were feeling the moment and we both leaned into the kiss. If she didn't wanna, she could have given me some hint and I could have backed off. I was completely taken by surprise by this. She even brought her friend to talk on her behalf as if she was somehow scared of me to talk about it. I was completely shocked and felt betrayed. I simply told her I can't continue this as I feel betrayed, embarrassed and shocked. She kinda showed that she doesn't trust me by bringing her friend to talk about this. She could have told me that herself and we could have discussed it. This has never happened to me before. Since then, I'm constantly overthinking that maybe I overreacted. Maybe I should have given her more time to slowly ease into how relationships work. Maybe she brought her friend because she was too shy to tell me that herself, or maybe she was scared of me. What? It's just breaking my mind if I did the right thing. I was really into this person and losing her hurts. I don't know what to feel. Saying something like, "I want to kiss you," before the first time is within the range of ordinary politeness and caution. It sounds like she's expecting you to ask every time. I've never heard of that before and I deal with fairly detailed negotiation in relationships on a regular basis. Darned if I know if you made the right decision. She has a right to her feelings and her limits, but also you've not obligated to be in a relationship with her. I know I'd be weirded out if someone I was dating brought back up to tell me something. Honestly, I could have maybe even given this time, discussed it with her what made her so uncomfortable all of a sudden, and I might have even obliged to ask for consent, each time till she was comfortable. But her bringing out backup really creeped me out. I'm speculating here, I haven't met her, but this sounds like some kind of big hang-up inside of her head that you didn't cause. The longer I think about it, the more I think that breaking up was the right move. If she's not able to voice discomfort without help, it's not safe for either of you if you date her. You're right about her not being able to voice her discomfort. It's probably good that things ended early before it got worse. Sucks. I was really into this person. Almost seems like you can't have nice things. At least I had it for 3 weeks before it was taken away. Both of you have lot to learn. She has to learn how to raise her concerns, then keep it till it builds up, and you have to learn how to navigate through issues that seem unpredictable/unpleasant. What she is asking isn't a big issue or unreasonable. However, if you don't think you can accommodate her request, then it's a good thing that you aren't together. People have certain comfort levels, and it doesn't make them unreasonable. And she isn't a minefield. You can't expect people to be the mirror version of you. 1000% this. Especially the, it's not safe for you to date her. She's got some stuff going on from a mental health stance, and you could end up at the end of an unfair and unwarranted accusation that could damage your life. I'm sorry this happened, but trust your gut and stay broken up. I'm wondering if it was her friend. Like she was fine, but her friend is weird and got in her head and pushed her to do this. It's still not good, cause it shows she doesn't have her own mind and is easily swayed. But yes, that was my first thought. Like some stupid TikTok trend. You're not overthinking, that's ridiculous. You made the right call. She has some issues probably and needs to figure things out. But that is absolutely not normal in a relationship. Women will often bring a friend with them if they think they are approaching a conversation that will be uncomfortable with someone they don't know well. This might not be the case here, as I don't know how long you knew her before you started dating. But I know I've taken a friend with me, or had a friend insist on going with me, when having a conversation with a very new relationship. It helps make you feel safer just on the off chance things go south. I know it isn't all men, so don't come for me here, but we don't know which men, so, with someone we don't know very well, we likely won't want to be completely alone with them when having a conversation we know they won't like. I think she talked about feeling slightly uncomfortable with the kissing with her backup for whatever reason, and the backup hyped it up to a big deal and orchestrated this intervention, especially since she did all the talking. Your ex seems easy to push around, which doesn't bode well for a healthy relationship anyway. I think you did the right thing. I am actually impressed that you got those words out. I don't blame you. And if this is how she feels, it's for the best that you not date her. It would be a minefield of terror every time you touched her. She's certainly entitled to her feelings, but you don't have to date her under these circumstances. Exactly. I felt scared to even touch her after that. Thanks for your comment. Yes, consent is important. But this was a weird ambush. You could not keep dating her after this. I'd be afraid of being accused of something much worse. That's the exact reason I broke up. Internally, I felt afraid of being accused of something much worse. It was the feeling of being betrayed by a person you trusted so much. Yes, I would not be able to come back from this either. I don't much blame her, she's young. There's probably something going on with her she finds upsetting and she's trying to regain some kind of control somewhere? Or maybe she's too young to be dating yet. I don't know, and you should not stick around to find out. But be kind to her. Or her friend was jealous and planted seeds in her head. If she's too shy to talk to you about kissing, she's too shy to talk about sex, and she's too shy to be dating right now. She can't use a buffer for every uncomfortable feeling she is. And if she had the friend because she is afraid of how you will react, and needs the friend to talk for her, she shouldn't be dating you. I mean, what can you do? Everything seemed mutual. I understand it's her first relationship / she's inexperienced, but bringing her friend to talk for her was over the top, in my opinion. I think you made the right call on ending things. Hopefully she can work on her communication skills / anxiety for her next relationship. In fairness, you did really pick out a needle in a haystack with this GFOP. I've never heard of anyone acting like that. I think you absolutely did the right thing here. If she's bringing a friend to speak for her as a bodyguard over kissing, some poor guy in the future is very much at risk of prison time / having his life ruined if she continues down this path when she starts having sex. This would be a terrifying relationship to be a part of going forward. Don't speak to her again. I'm a woman. Her reaction is maddening. It implies you A-word her, and you did not. You have a right to feel this upset, don't second-guess yourself. In a way, she's given you reason not to trust her. What will her reaction be if you have consensual romantic relations, then she decides retrospectively it's not okay? I wouldn't feel safe with a partner over-dramatizing something as innocuous as kissing. If you don't feel safe with her, then walk. Trust goes two ways. The friend probably saw you two at the party enjoying yourselves, got jealous and decided to convince her that she was being A-word by you. This boundary makes no sense at all. Just someone looking for a bit of drama. Holy F, this is all I've been thinking since then. It doesn't help that her friend is her roommate, and my girlfriend used to tell me how her roommate tells her that I'm too good for her, or that I'm too attractive for her. She used to make my girlfriend feel insecure about having me. She was 2000% jealous of her and might have ruined our relationship by manipulating her. She was also the one that was speaking more than her during the convo. Like she wasn't even leaving us alone to talk privately. You should both be comfortable enough with each other to just lean in and kiss with no words required. Maybe she's either not suited for you, or she's into all that modern crap when you need two lawyers on hand to draw to contacts before you do much as look at each other. The fact that she brought along a bodyguard is weird in itself. It's going to be a strained relationship if you choose to go on with it. Move on, but tell her the reason why. That you want to be in a relationship that is not so clinical. I bet it's her stupid bodyguard friend that drilled that lawyers and contract for a kiss thingy inside her brain. As much as I got to know her, she wasn't like this. She changed completely in one night. We were so comfortable and happy with each other. I could see that in her eyes. Man, why can't people let others be happy? She's allowed to have those boundaries, and you're allowed to decide you'd like a relationship where more organic physical interaction is the norm. You did the right thing, and you did it in a very mature and reasonable way. Unfortunately, I think her meddling friend is going to do a lot of damage in her life. You can never win this. Because there are many girls, more so, that don't want to be asked so that it doesn't ruin the moment and make it awkward. Despite what any keyboard warrior says, as someone with 2 sisters, and mostly friends that are girls, I rarely know any that prefer to be asked, or at least they don't have a preference then, especially after the first time. I always say read the room, which from what you wrote, I believe you did so just fine. I sort of feel like someone got into her head, possibly? Maybe not. Regardless, I'd end this relationship. It's just very uncomfortable to ask every time. The strange thing, you'll realize that this same situation probably won't happen with her in the future, when she realizes almost no guy is going to ask every time. Then thinking about it will hurt you, because you'll see that, oh, I had to ask every time, but her boyfriend now doesn't. I think she's perfectly in her rights to ask permission, but requesting permission for every kiss even at 18, sounds like she's a little too naive, or possibly too anxious or insecure for a relationship. I'd personally move on, save your dignity, because that's just a whole ball of surprising awkwardness. There's millions of other people out there. Don't chase a headache situation from the rip. I'm worried the internet is starting to make young women view even close men as threats. Unless given a reason, normally if you're in a relationship with someone, you already trust them enough to realize they won't purposely violate your boundaries. If she felt uncomfortable, that's totally reasonable. That's on a couple to communicate and cross bridges as you get to them. But for her to be already dating you and feel as if she needs a bodyguard there, would feel to me that she doesn't trust you. From the comments, it seems like the friend is sabotaging the relationship. No couple 20 years in is going to ask for consent before every kiss. You are both kids, LMAO. You did overthink it, and bringing her friend along to a 3-week relationship talk was a bit overkill, but again, you're both basically kids, LOL. Sorry, but relationships from middle school don't really count. This 3-week thing? Not even a relationship, more just a situationship, LMAO, which I'm betting half your previous relationships were. No hate. You're young, so I guess time feels longer for you. Also, I would recommend you don't stick to this false accusation assumption. Most women do not make false accusations. The frequency of such false allegations are mostly a myth. Take it from a woman who's been essayed, and every girl I know has either also been A-word or knows someone other than me that has. As a woman just over twice your age, I must admit that I'm viewing this slightly differently. Whilst I'd like to kiss you ahead of the first time is nice, ahead of every single time does seem A, exhausting and B, excessive. Whilst your girlfriend may be experiencing anxiety, I do also find her friend doing the talking questionable, and I do wonder if she has said something. However, you may be missing some obvious social cues that your girlfriend isn't as into kissing as you are. There is obviously something else going on that you and your girlfriend need to sort out. I think it's a fair assumption that once you're in a relationship that you're both happy with, then consent for a kiss doesn't need to be asked for on every single occasion. For example, I have a friend that has never asked permission, but he does like to steal a kiss. However, despite never having had that conversation, he knows it's okay. Equally, I know he'd back off if I said no. You need to have a chat about what's happening. You seem to have handled this really well. You don't have any obligation to be in any relationship. I'm glad you were able to express yourself in what seems like a very positive way. You didn't do anything wrong at all, and I'm sorry you feel conflicted. My first thought is, maybe a history of SA or trauma of some sort, lack of personal autonomy in some way. Maybe she didn't say anything initially because she didn't know how without rejection, or if she has rejected someone in her past, maybe the result was very bad and resulted in a trauma, which would make it terrifying to reject anyone in any way, and would explain why she had a friend with her. Not everyone is up for a relationship with someone with a history of trauma or mental health issues. It is really hard, and takes a lot of patience and energy. It sounds like it's worth having more conversation. You're young and impulsive. It sounds like you broke up because you felt embarrassed and that you did something wrong. Maybe she felt she wasn't able to talk about the issue as her friend was. Truth is that she had her friend support her in asking you to respect a limit. May have been smoother without the friend, but that's why she needed. Also, you are her first and you can take it slow for her or break up because you don't want to go at her pace. But your previous reason for breaking up is because she made you feel bad, but you just felt bad when she let you know her current threshold. Consent is so important, OP. You are young, don't F up multiple relationships for this. I have been married to my wife for almost 5 years and I still ask her if I can give her a kiss. Just because we are together doesn't mean she owes me any physical intimacy. I don't own her body, and I respect her enough to just ask. If she doesn't want to kiss for any reason, I go about my day and cop a kiss some other time. People have complex emotions, especially around sex and intimacy. You can take the extra few seconds to ask, even if there's a moment. She can have her boundaries. A lot of times some people do a lot of things for the first time even if they are uncomfortable, and when they realize about their discomfort, some voice it and some suffer through it. She was maybe scared or anxious to voice it, so she asked her friend's company. She was right on her side, and you breaking up for not being comfortable with her boundaries was right on your side. Also, 3 weeks is a short time to trust someone fully, so I do understand what your ex was thinking about, especially when this was her first relationship. Maybe try thinking about this from her point of view as well. You both are just teens, you both have a lot of growing up to do. Just focus on having healthy relationships.